The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the January 19th, otherwise known as the terrific Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. The easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check out the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on it at 877-927-6648. Would love to hear from you. We've got other ways to hear from you. If you can't call in, but you have a question, go ahead and send me an email. Send that to steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Thursday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. A sea of red out there. All the U.S. indices trading the downside. All the sectors with inside the S&P 500. Well, the XLV just went up by 1 penny out there. We're trading lower. The Dow's off 241, about 0.7%. 34 points for the S&P, 0.8 or 0.9. The NASDAQ 124 points, a little over 1%. 1.4% for the Russell. That's 26 points. The downside, 67 points. For the semis, that's 2.5%. Gold is trading up $13 and change. Silver, 9 cents. Light sweet crude is up 89 pennies. Natural gas back basically flat. 30-year Treasury's down 13 ticks, trading out at 131.21. Leading the charge, dollar-wise, the upside, you've got Service Now. NOW is a ticker symbol, up $15, a little over 3.5%. I don't know how to pronounce that. We'll just go to Humana, which is up $8 and change, 1.8%. United Healthcare, 7.5%, up 1.5%. Elevance Health, up 1.25 or $6 out there. To the downside, it is Solar Edge, down $25, 8%. Innovative Industrial, down 17%. 15 buckaroonies. Mercado Libre, $13, 1.25%. Enphase Energy, $15, 6%. EPAM Systems down $13 and change. That's 4%. John Deere's off $12.5. That's about a 3% move to the downside. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. We've got no requests so far, so let's go take a look at the ES Mini. We'll switch over. We'll take a look at. So we do have new profile that form. Let me just actually stay on this page here momentarily. Put up this page. It'll be very easy for those of you that are watching us on Tiger TV or that are inside our Tiger's Den. You can grab a snapshot of this. Why get a snapshot of this? Because it's got those new daily profiles for all 4 equity future contracts. Now, in the case of the Dow equity future contract, bottom left-hand panel there, that profile formed a couple of days ago, and price did close below that yesterday. So right now what price is doing is dealing with its swing point. So the swing point, this is important for us to watch, the YM that is, because it has been the strength basically inside the market. So the swing point itself goes from, let me get the bottom of the swing point as well out here, goes from a price point between 32,686 at the bottom. By the way, that swing point, if I did mention the day, is 1220. If I did mention the day, well, I've just mentioned it a second time. So December 20th is the area that we're watching. And what price is doing now in the Dow equity future contract is testing one potential level of support. And that's the top of that swing point, 33,204. We're trading right now at 33,203. So we're hovering right at it, or it is hovering right at it. So we'd want to take a look at the Dow equity future contract to see what's going on in its intraday time frames to get some kind of feel or clue. So, but I do believe the Dow is one of the areas that you certainly want to watch in order to be able to grab decent signals, especially even intraday signals out here. We take a look at the other 3 equity future contracts. You will see those profiles that we took a look at did form. Now, the numbers may have changed slightly, and that's a reason for you to grab a snapshot of these pages out here. And those are the blue horizontal lines that you see on the screen. Now, the ES Mini, it's a slightly bullish structured profile. What that means is the center is closer in proximity to the bottom than it is to the top. At the center is where you have both buyers and sellers. They believe that the ES Mini is fairly valued at $39.48. You've got support, buyers at $38.83 and sellers at $40.35. In the case of the NQ, its sellers reside at $11,658. That held. The center is $11,456. Buyers and sellers there. When price dips below a bearish structured profile, odds favor, it's not a guarantee, but odds favor that sellers should be able to push price down to support, which in this case here is $11,503. Now, what I don't know off the top of my head, but we'll take a look at that, is this price right now in the NQ just testing this green oscillator and change line, which if it is, that is a level of support. So that's a possibility, but we'll come back and we'll take a look at that and figure that out. If we go back to the ES Mini, very likely it's targeting $38.83. The bottom of that profile, and then to the Russell 2000, the bottom right panel, that also has formed a bearish structured profile, the center of which was closed below yesterday, which is 1885. So the Russell, the weakest of these 3 from a profile standpoint at this stage, is suggested to move back to 1790. So that's what's going on. We take a look at profiles. Now let's switch over, take a look at our multi-time frame set of charts here. For the ES Mini, we'll go through this stuff one step at a time. With regard to the ES Mini, you've got the 8 different panels out here. So the first thing to take a look at or to notice, and this is, subscribers saw this morning when the newsletter was sent out, was that in a 60-minute and a 30-minute time frame chart, they had both formed TD9 count bottom patterns. In the case of the 30-minute chart, a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. Now, what I suggested there was that we should see a rally, but that market breadth was so negative for the intraday time periods, 30, 60-minute time period, that what the ES Mini was going to do was going to struggle on the rally. And when we take a look at the red line up here on this chart, make sure I'm on the right page, I am. The red line out here represents the number of instruments trading below profile. Below profile, I'm referring to a 30-minute profile, whereas the green line represents instruments trading above profile. Right now, specifically, 302 below, 42 above. Now, when we take a look at what took place right out here as the market was topping, and this is at 9:55 this morning. We'll go take a look at the intraday charts, see when it actually had topped and then began pulling back or the rally stalled. So 9:55 was when market breadth got the closest it could, got to zero, and looked like maybe if the rally was going to extend itself, then what we would have seen here was a bullish crossover. We don't have that. So that's 9:55. So just for blanks and giggles, let's go see when did we actually get a top in the market. We'll look at the 10-minute time frame chart out here. It was at 9:50. Now, at 9:50 on a 10-minute time frame out there, if you were watching, what you could have done here is you could have seen that price was also up at its TD9 count breakdown level. So a very key area of resistance, 39, 32, 50 out there. Right now, price is just trading within the range of the lows of basically the morning up to that 39, 32, 50. So if I were to ask you what's a key level for you to watch on any further rallies to the upside, well, you already have that answer. It's 39, 32, 50, and that's on the ES Mini. That's a 10-minute time frame chart. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstad's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstad breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at the ES Mini here. We looked at the 30-minute time frame chart. We took a look at that rally in the TAS market breadth, and as it was getting right to about break even, that's when the rally stopped within 5 minutes, really, of when the rally had made its high out there. Let's switch over and take a look at the 60-minute time frame chart. The reason is because both those charts this morning showed those bottom patterns. They still are in effect out here. You've got a TD9 count bottom that formed at 9 o'clock this morning. You now have a wave number 7 pattern that if we don't see a close by 12 noon, if we don't see a move below, why can't I get this? Let me try doing this. Let me try it this way. See if that'll give it to me. There we go. So if we don't get a close below or a tick below 390450, I'm not saying close. I did not mean to say close. If we do not get a tick below 390450, then you'll have a wave 7 bottom pattern as well out there. Now, you can see a new profile that formed out here a couple of hours ago, the bottom of which is at 3910.50, and the top of which is at 3986, 3987, or 3936 is right there. Okay, right in front of my eyes. So now what we want to go do is take a look at market breadth, which I think I just... Where did that go? Here we go. So now let's go take a look at what's going on in the 60-minute time frame for its market breadth out here, which I believe is still bearish. Here is the ES Mini, yeah. And when I say bearish, there's 57 of the 500-plus instruments inside the S&P 500 trade above profile versus 333 below the bottom. So it's got its work cut out on any kind of a rally out there. The 240-minute chart for the ES Mini or the S&P is also switched over to a negative. A bearish crossover, that is. And on the 240-minute chart, you can see bar number 7 is forming. So the 4-hour time frame chart is suggesting that price should go target 38.91. Now, the bottom of that profile, the daily time frame new profile, 38.83. So those certainly become price targets. We'll likely see that occur if we see price move below these 30-minute bottoming patterns out here. No reason to think that the market's going to take off to the upside, at least not at 11.20, not with regard to the market breadth that we just took a look at. Now, I had mentioned the NQ earlier on its pullback, so let's go take a look at the NQ. Let's go ahead and get these charts here populated. This will take just a moment. What we're looking for here is the upper left-hand panel, the daily time frame. We're looking to see if price has made its way back or if it's trading below. No, it's not made its way back to its oscillator and change line, which is currently printed at 11,280. So we're printing out right now, price-wise, 11,349 or thereabouts. So 11,280 is the likely price target for the NQ. I'm not saying that it'll stop there, but that is a level of support. And the reason we're taking a look at that area, 11,280, and the Dow equity future contract not being shown right now, which is trading into the top of that swing point at 33,204, those are key areas for us to watch and observe out here as to what the market's next intent is. As we look at intraday charts, for the NQ, you have a 60-minute TD9 count that went into effect as we came on the air at 11 o'clock. So that is in place. That red oscillator and change line is acting as resistance. At the moment, that's printing out at 11,374. We take a look at the 30-minute time frame out here. The 30-minute time frame negated, this is the NQ, negated its TD9 count and Rhodes momentum indicator bottom, and it did that as we were coming on the air. So we've got kind of confusing signals. I don't think they're really too confusing at this stage here. We know that, well, we didn't check out the market breadth. I take that back. We did not check out the NQ's market breadth. Let's do that. Let's open up this file. Let's change over from the S&P 500 and take a look at what's going on inside the NDX. Well, we've got bearish crossovers for the 60 and 240 on the 60 time frame. Only 6 instruments trading above profile and 75 below. So that's not a great scene. And on the 240-minute time frame chart, also with the bearish crossover, 10 above, 63 below. So all rallies here are likely to get sold unless those profile conditions change out here. But again, watch the technical pattern right now. The confirmation of that move back to the 11,280, I would say, would be a close below the low of 11,321 even Steven. We do have one question that has come in, so actually 2 questions, okay. One from Dan, which we'll get to in a few moments here. We're going to take a look at GOOS. First, we're going to go out and take a look at short earnings. Okay. Just making my note of it so I don't forget this. Okay, so we've got UEC. This is for LB. I want to go ahead and read his question because I was just able to see the email come across. And the question goes like this. Hope your day is going well. It is, especially because I'm hearing from you. Can you please take a look at UEC, which we've got, those are charts up on the screen. Looks like uranium has started to break down. Just wondering if you see the same thing happening to UEC. If you have time, could you also look at URA? Absolutely. So we'll take a look at both. So we've got UEC up on our screen right now. UEC is the Uranium Energy Corp, which is trading right now at $3.58, $3.60, right about there. It is trading. So your question was, you think that uranium is breaking down. Are we seeing the same thing in UEC? And the answer is yes. Price closed below the bottom of its daily profile on Friday, on Monday, that is. Then again on Tuesday. It's trading below it today. So what price is doing here, what I would now, I don't see any kind of pattern at this stage here that is set up. What I would say, and with below profiles, so my target, my Isley, they go down to the next swing point. That's all the way back at December 16th. That's anywhere in a range of $3.02 up to $3.25 out here. The low so far today has been $3.46. If we look at a weekly time frame chart, what we have here is prices trading below the bottom of its profile as well. So if it closes this week below that level, by the way, is $3.78, at least that's what it is right now, then that's going to suggest at least move back to where it has found a bottom in this consolidation. That's in that low $3 area out there. So that may be where price is pulling back to. On a monthly time frame chart, price consolidating with inside its monthly profile, but below the oscillator and change line. So that does set up a potential move lower. Let's take a look at a 30-minute chart out here. for UEC. What we can see is that it formed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom at 10 a.m. What price has been unable to do out here, Lee, is take out its red oscillator and change line. So that's the area of resistance, about $3.60 right now. And there's other resistance, and this is just a 30-minute chart up at $3.69. So it is trying to form a bottom, but it's not doing a really great job of it, although it was a nice move up at 344 up to about 365 or so out there. But that oscillator and change line is containing price, so you want to keep an eye on that. But your question specifically was, is UEC showing signs of breaking down? To answer that question even further beyond what we've already done, I'll put up this chart here. This chart here shows kind of the normal consecutive closes, higher closes, and consecutive lower closes. Consecutive higher closes are black digits. Consecutive lower closes are the red digits out here. And it's normal for price to, here on a rally, it's normal for price to pull back for basically 2 to 4 trading sessions. The last time that we saw any kind of pullback of significance was the one on the early part of January. That was a 2-bar knee-jerk reaction low. Price went ahead and moved higher. It did that in 4 bars to the upside. And what yesterday was bar number 2 to the downside. So what you want to watch is you want to watch these consecutive lower closes out there for additional clues as to whether it's broken down. So price is broken down because it's below profiles. But right now, it could just be a normal 2-day pullback out there. But those aren't the signs that we're seeing at 11:26 in the morning. We'll take a look at URA when we get back from this break.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got the Dow down 256 right now. S&P's off 38. NASDAQ 139. Russell's down 27. We're taking a look at ticker symbol URA. This is for LB, and this is uranium. This is the ETF for uranium, which right now is not broken down. LB. What I mean by that is prices. Now, this has a sell the D point pattern. The A to B out here is really where my B point. So this looks like more of like a 1 to 1.618 or 1 to 2. A to B equals C to T upside out there. So that pattern is in place out here. Yesterday was a big old bearish engulfing, not yesterday, but November 17th. Big old bearish engulfing candle engulfed a couple of 3 candles out there. That led yesterday to a move lower, but never broke profile. Today, that profile level, the bottom of its profile, that's at the 2120 level, is being tested. So as long as that holds, that's a positive. Now, what you'd really like to see here, LB, you can see that the bounce has found resistance at its green oscillator and change line. You really want to see close above that being 2132. So the daily time now, price closes below that, that's going to be a signal of a potential breakdown. You want to see 2 consecutive closes below that profile, 2120, to suggest that. And then it looks like I can see here a nice wide-ranging bar. This thing has probably got some pretty decent volume at 2.6 million there. The next day, 2.4 million. So far in the pullback today, you're at about 326. So this is pulling back with lighter volume out there. And that would suggest to me, longer. I think you've been in this trade for a while. I don't see any reason necessarily to jettison the trade, but I don't know where you're at in the entry area. On a weekly basis for URA, it's above profile. It is above its oscillator and change line. So those conditions are not bearish out here. And on a monthly time frame, just a consolidation, a lot of accumulation going on basically since you'd almost say it's been going on since January of 2022. So for about a full year out here, you've got some accumulation, it appears to be going on. So that's what I see when I take a look at uranium and UEC. So LB, I hope that helps you out. Thanks much for taking the time to write in, and you have a terrific Thursday. Our next question, the only other question that we've got inside the queue right now, I believe, is on GOO. I get to the wrong place out there. GOOS. Nope, that's the wrong place. Did I not put it in? Stevie, what are you doing here? Geez, I did not put that in, so let's go do that. Thought that I was intelligent enough, but apparently not, to have done that during the breakout there. So this is for Dan, who's inside the Tiger's Den. GOOS is the ticker symbol, and that is Canada. How about that? Canada Goose Holdings out there. So it is right now trading below. So this forms a TD9 count top. Dan is short, by the way. He's short going in earnings. I don't know if Dan took the TD9 count signal out here, that TD9 count pattern completed on January 13th, as price was up at the top of its daily profile at 2237. Now it's a bearish structured profile, Dan. Price is now cleared the oscillator and change line. At day's end, you'd like to see a close below this level. That's currently about 2097. That's going to change by a penny or two, but I believe you are using the oscillator and change line, so you'll have that figure at your fingertips. If price closes below it, because of bearish structured profile, odds favor a move back to 1965, the bottom of its profile out there. There is some support. That support potentially is at the top of its weekly profile, and that level, Dan, is 2063. So you'd like to see price close below that as well. Another area of potential support would be the center of that bearish structured weekly profile, 1989. So I got the right up there, yeah. Yeah, okay. So 1989. 2063 or 83, whatever that number was, is an area to watch here. But really, it's the daily time frame that you're taking your cues from out there. And you'd love to see it close below that green oscillator and change line. If you don't see it close below a green oscillator and change line, the price is just pulled back to a momentum level of support. And that says just be careful to the short side. Doesn't mean that it can't crack through it the next day. It just says be careful. Now, when we look at a 30-minute time frame chart out here for GOOS out there, this has a nice TD9 count bottom. So if price is going to move lower, Dan, what you need to see on a 30-minute basis is a close below 2073. That would be your signal for a further move lower. Otherwise, price could rally, could get up to that 2138 level. That's the current oscillator and change line. That would be the likely price target. Well, if it does that, 2138 is then going to take us, or would take us, above that green oscillator and change line. So watch the TD9 count, both for a potential rally and also for the potential failure to assist you. And right now, we just don't have that information, so that's what I would be paying attention to. So I hope that review for GOOS is helpful to you. If I take a look at the daily time frame, consecutive days moved lower or higher out here, we can see that today could become day number 4. Now, how many times on GOOS, at least since we came off the bottom here, that bottom being November 3rd, have we seen a 4-day consecutive decline out here? And the answer is once. And that last time came on December the 28th out there. So just be aware of the normal cycle. It doesn't mean it can't expand beyond this, but what I would say is that if in fact this becomes day number 4 of a lower close and it closes above that daily time frame green oscillator and change line, it just says be careful, or expect at least a 1-day rally, perhaps something a little bit more than that. So, Dan, I hope that helps you out with regard to GOOS. Thanks so much for taking the time to write in, and you are very welcome. I don't have any other requests that I see right now, but just check. Well, let me just check the emails here. Not a darn thing. So we're free to do whatever you want. So let's see here. Z in the Den just posted a chart for gold, so I might as well go to gold out here. And not that he posted a question or anything, but I don't have any idea where I want to head to. So let's go take a look at Goldilocks. So GC, we've got the March contract out here. As I mentioned, oops, why didn't that take? I mean, maybe GC again, 323, up to 2223. So now I did mention earlier, I don't know if it's going to show up on these charts or not. We'll see that here momentarily, but it has some. So gold is formed. I'm going to open up the daily time frame chart for Goldilocks. And here's what we see. There we go. Open up. Come on. Spread out. There we go. So we take a look at gold. What we don't have, well, I take that back. We do have a sell the D point pattern. So that sell the D point pattern in Goldilocks formed with this little dark cloud cover candle. That was a few days ago. But what price has done here, and this is really the power of that oscillator and change line. And and Dan and I really were talking about that. Of course, I was one speaking, and but here we're talking about just simply a pullback to a green oscillator and change line. Green tells you that you have a price oscillator above zero that is rising. Those are bullish conditions. The whole purpose for developing and utilizing the oscillator and change line was to be able to answer the question, in my eyes, what is a retracement? Just a retracement, and not to get you out of a position that you're in. And that's it out here. When price just pulls back and tests that level, even if you got a top, what it does is it generates a neutral signal. And so guess what? There we have a neutral signal as we speak right now with a new profile that price is trading above, which is 1912.50. Now, I want to see if, it's the same profile that I've got on the other system as well. So if price is able to close above 1912.50 and a screen oscillator and change line, it really makes that sell the D point pattern very, very suspect. As we take a look at the other intraday charts out here, TD9 count on the 5-hour time frame chart. That formed back at 4 o'clock in the morning, and that was yesterday, not this morning, but yesterday morning at 4 a.m. out here. Anything else that pops out to Stevie with regard to gold? And the answer is, nah, nothing really that I see. You got a 15-minute TD9 count top, and so a close above its high, that's the high of the day, 1924.90. That'll tell you about a strong momentum move for its time frame to the upside. So we do have a couple of requests that have come in. Ron says, do we cover natural gas? Well, covered it this way, but we'll cover it again when we get back from the break. And natural gas, boy, will it ever find a bottom? Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the opening call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at natural gas futures. Ron and the Tiger's Den wanted to take a look at this here. And so prices basically sit in its last bastion of support for hope out there. And that's the weekly time frame chart. I'll just simply expand it out for the moment. What I've got on the weekly chart, you've got the profile levels. Those are the green horizontal lines, the diagonal areas. Those are trend lines that have been drawn in there. So you can see that price is right back at an area of support. If this area fails, then we should see a move down to the $2.68. That's the next A to B equals CD pattern. We can see that profile levels out here, prices below it for the daily, the weekly, the monthly, the quarterly. It's just looking just horrible out there. Now, because there's A to B equals CD patterns out here, what we're looking for is some type of bullish. One thing that we're looking for is a bullish reversal candle to confirm. What you also now know with certainty, we're well below, or no, we're below the bullish structured profile of its daily time frame. And as I've shared with everybody before, counter trend rallies, when you get below it, counter trend rallies, when it's just a counter trend move, will find resistance either at the bottom or, no, more typically, the center of that profile. And that's exactly what took place on January the 12th out there. But by day's end, it held profile, but didn't do much more than that. We can see we're now below that area, below the profile, so significant resistance at the $3.98 level, even if you do get a bullish reversal candle. If we switch over and take a look at the other intraday charts out there, just looking for intraday signals, if you're going to see a change in trend, it's going to occur first on the intraday time periods. Well, here I've just got the 30, the 60, and the 120. On a 30-minute chart here for natural gas, we got not a zip, zilch. Nothing when it comes to a bottom pattern out here at the moment. If we go switch over and we take a look at the 60-minute time frame chart, a bullish reversal candle, well, which we did get out here. So this has formed a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. So it's not it's not a Japanese candlestick, but it is a key reversal bar. Key reversal bar takes place. Well, hold on a minute here. Yeah. So the key reversal bar, this is the hourly time frame chart, took place at 11 o'clock. In a key reversal bar, you need to be in an extended condition. Well, just having that Rhodes momentum indicator signal triggered tells us we're in an extended condition. Number 2, price must exceed both the low and the high of the prior bar. Well, that in fact took place. At 11 o'clock, price exceeded the high and low of the 10 a.m. bar. And then third, you need to close at least 1 pip, 1 tick, 1 penny in the opposite direction of the trend. That would be the upside. That's in fact what took place out here at 11 a.m. Am I suggesting that this is a bottom? No, I'm just telling you that right now you've got a consolidation with inside the 60-minute chart with a bottom pattern out there. You could see another run up to the $3.15. But if we're going to see a change in trend, we're going to see that occur first on the intraday charts, 30, 60, even 120. We don't have any signals to suggest that that is what is unfolding at this moment. So time to continue to be patient out there and wait for at least some type of sign that the cavalry has arrived. So I hope that helps you out. And thanks so much for the request. We had a request from Phil to take a look at Bank of America. And Phil, I just think it was you wanted me to take a look at it. I didn't write down anything specific, and I can't find where you had put in that request. My apology. But let's just take a look at Bank of America. If there's something specific you need, just type it in, and I'll get to it. But we take a look at Bank of America out here. It is trading below the bottom of its daily profile right now, which is 337. That opens up the door for a move to its breakout area, and that's at $31.87. That's the message from the daily time frame. The weekly time frame, price is below profile out here and below its red oscillator and change line. So the weekly chart says it wants lower price. Now, the week is not over, so but as we speak right now at 11:46 a.m. on Thursday, it says it wants lower price. Lower price on the monthly chart would say, yeah, go ahead and pull back to about 31.71. That's the bottom of its profile. We take our eyes over extremely to the left out there in the daily time frame. We see 31.87 is the daily TD9 count breakout area. So it looks like Bank of America wants to head lower. If we take a look at the time frame for the 30-minute chart out here, we don't see any kind of a bottom signal. And so, yeah, this is suggesting lower price as well. That was Bank of America. Lastly, this is only day one on this is a weekly chart out here. This is only bar one on a weekly basis. Let me just see what was taking place on the daily time frame for Bank of America with regard to consecutive higher closes and lows out here. So this is going to be day number 3. The last low that formed out here was 3 consecutive closes was on December 16th. And that was on a 3-day pullback as well. So with regard to Bank of America, all the signals suggest it wants lower price. We do want to pay attention to the fact of a normal 2 to 3 day 3-bar pullback out there. But 31.87 is certainly game on at this stage of the game. A second close tomorrow below 33.37, assuming that it does that today, that would be your signal that it wants to move lower. And you just may see some intraday counter trend moves out there. So Phil, I hope that helps you out. I don't see another request in here for you, so maybe I have covered the information that you were looking for. Thank you so much for, you say excellent, Steve. That's where you have your support line. Well, then perfect. Glad that our two systems are agreeing with each other. Duncan Steve wanted to take a look at Palantir out here. PLTR is the ticker symbol. Palantir formed a nice, and it did have a nice rally out there, Duncan. And what it did was it formed a nice TD9 count bottom. We can see that on our screen. What did that do? That took price right up to its TD9 count breakdown resistance level, which is at 730. Yesterday's high was $7.30. How does that work out there? Because I can guarantee you nobody inside of TFNN, including me, would have chosen 730 as the breakdown level. And that's the beauty of that TD9 count pattern. If you don't know it, you should learn it. It's a pretty easy pattern for you to just simply manage yourself, especially with your daily, weekly, monthly timeframes out there. Just sign up for Mastering Probability. If you do it for 30 days, you're going to learn a ton. I haven't heard anybody who signed up for Mastering Probability has gone through those workshops and said, I didn't learn a darn thing out there. But that could apply. But I think instead what you will do is you will learn a ton. Now, where is Palantir headed to? Odds favor because you're back inside the profile. The next target level becomes 658 or so. That is its red oscillator and change line. The weekly has a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern out there. Resistance, though, stands at 762. So a pullback to the 658-ish area or wherever it finds support. It could be 647 or even 628. That could set up an A to B equals CD to the upside. I'm not saying that it will. will. I'm saying that it could out here. And if I look at the monthly time frame for Palantir, there's not a whole lot of people in the Palantir party out there. I saw some other posts about grumblings from his staff out there. Well, hey, this is a startup. You never know how much of the staff's compensations were in stock options. And if they are, well, nobody. It is a pity party over at Palantir out there. So that's what I see when I take a look at the daily, weekly, monthly time frames real quickly here on a 30-minute basis. What do we have out here? We don't have any kind of a bottom signal. And in fact, we are in bar number 7 of a TD9 count. So maybe over the course of the next couple of hours, you could get a bottom signal inside of PLTR. So Duncan, Steve, thanks so much for the request. I hope that helps you out. And you have a terrific Thursday. Let's see here. Any other questions? No, nothing that I see. But we're going to go to a break here in about 15 or 20 seconds. Let me just take a look at the overall market, see what's going on there. Where are my screens? Get to my screen. Here we go. So lead the charts. The upside is ServiceNow. NOW is the ticker symbol. So just to see what that is doing, we're going to punch that up on our screen right now. I know that we're going to break out here. Let's see if these screens will populate. It's up about 3% right now. That's $12.15. What you and I want to know is, okay, it's up about that amount. What is it doing? What kind of signals do we have? And I don't see any kind of a topping signal. Looks like this rally inside of ServiceNow should continue, with 457.27 being a next price target. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to have a fairly quick round here. We've got 3 questions that have come in, so I want to get to those in only about 2 minutes. So let's begin. The first one coming in, take a look at Apple. Apple pulling back today. We don't have any kind of a topping signal out here. It could go on to form a TD9 count top, but price would have to spike above yesterday's high tomorrow or on Monday out there. Price is above profile. Price is above its oscillator and change line. So at this stage here, no significant damage done to Apple. If we take a look at its weekly time frame chart, it does have resistance at 138 even Steven. That's the top of its weekly profile. Let's go take a look at the next request out there. Next request was to take a look at ticker symbol SMH, the semiconductors. Semiconductors will not form a TD9 count top if price closes today below 225.79. 225.79 is the key. Now, do we have any other kind of topping pattern out here? No, I've got nothing. Looks to me like the SMHs are just pulling back to test support, and that's the oscillator and change line. It is green, 219.64. So that's an area to watch out there is 219.65 or thereabouts. That number is going to change. Lastly, let's go take a look at the third instrument. Oh, Stevie's been pretty efficient here. We got a little time left out here, and that is for ticker symbol STEM. STEM. I'm going to assume that STEM, I don't know why I would assume it, is some kind of biotech entity out there. Maybe it does stem cell stuff. Doesn't matter what it does. What it did do on a daily basis was formed a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. Another one of those patterns out there that you really should want to learn because it works for all time frames, for all instruments. And if we take a look at that Rhodes momentum indicator bottom led to a test of TD9 count breakdown resistance yesterday, $10.94. Now price is pulling back. It's possible that I don't have a topping pattern out here. Well, I take that back. I see an A to B equals CD. So you've got a 3-river evening star, a gap to the downside. So price should go target the 877 level. That's on the daily time frame chart out there. I don't see anything else to suggest otherwise. And if we look quickly here at the 30-minute time frame for ticker symbol STEM, next level of support on to the downside is $9.43. You close below that, the 30-minute chart says, I want to continue to head lower. Folks, thanks so much for being here. Stay tuned. We've got great programming lined up. I'm going to try to record tomorrow's show between 8 and 9. I believe that is a doable thing. So have a terrific Thursday, and I'll look forward to spending time with you tomorrow. Take care. Be safe out there.